Hello guys, and thanks for coming back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the toxic work environment of a nurse that I experienced as a nurse, and you should be aware of if you're thinking about getting into nursing. Like I said, a lot of people don't know this unless you work in healthcare, or like I said, you're not going to learn this in nursing school, but you will learn real fast when you get on the floor that nursing is very toxic. Like I said, I've been a nurse for about 4 years, going on to this is year 5 for me, and like I can honestly say, like, I don't have plans to stay in nursing forever, and I'm definitely looking for out of getting into this field because of the toxic work environment and the stress of the job. And it's kind of like, it's at the point where it's not even like kind of worth it with the pay and the stress level is just not adding up. And so I want to be somewhere where the stress and the pay kind of add up. And in nursing, it's like with inflation and everything and the stress level and the amount of responsibilities that you're under, it's just starting to not add up. And like I said, I have been a nurse for about 4 years now, and I'm just thinking like, this can't be the end of all ends of my career, because it's like you try to like stick stuff out and you just see some stuff that just don't make sense. So let's get into what I'm going to talk about. So the environment of a nurse is really, really toxic because, like I said, you have coworkers that you're working with. You can't tell them much about you because everything that you say is going to be used against you, or somebody go say something about you, or if you need help with something, somebody be like, oh, they don't know what they're doing because they need help or they have questions. Which in other job field, you can ask questions and need help, or it makes sense to need help. That's the purpose of your coworkers. You're not going to know everything. You're not going to always, have the answers for everything. So you ask your coworkers. And in nursing, you get a lot of pushback. You get a lot of pushback from other from the providers, from other nurses. When you need help with something, somebody like, oh, this isn't, why do you need help with this? Why do you, it's not like, you're not gonna know everything. Like, nursing school doesn't teach you everything, and every hospital is different. So you're still gonna have questions. So that's one thing that makes nursing toxic, is not having support. The dangerous work environments. A lot of nurses now are working on units where there are patients that are violent, and you can be hit by a patient. People don't know that as a nurse, but a patient will hit you, and they know since they're in the hospital, they're not going to go to jail or get in trouble for doing it. The most they're going to do is get put in restraints. So, like I said, some men, some women are violent, and they will hit you as a nurse. And like I said, the only thing they're going to do is get put in restraints. No charges are going to be filed because it's in a hospital setting. They're sick. And this is like part of the job, like people hitting you. I have been hit multiple times by different patients. And like I said, I try to avoid those situations, but they do happen. Working night shift, as a nurse working like night shift, your sleep schedule is going to be all off. Like I said, I work nights from 7 p to 7 a, and that doesn't include me driving to work and me, giving a report to get off work. Sometimes you're working like 13 plus hours shifts, and like I said, and it's a lot. You're trying to keep your body awake, and you having to, stay at the hospital for so long, and you're dealing with all these different personalities. Everybody like being rude. Everyone has an attitude. It's just like, sometimes you think it's like, is this even worth it? What am I doing here? Like, I'm just working, staying at the hospital all the time, taking care of more people at the hospital than taking care of your own self. And you don't feel appreciated. No one cares. What happens to the nurse? No one can help make sure you have a break. No one, the cafeterias are closed at night. You're not eating healthy. And like I said, there's always issue with staffing. Like I said, you get pushback for staffing. You're doing jobs that aren't even in your job title, like you're working as a nurse manager without having literally the title at night, because there's no nurse managers on, and you'll be doing things like dealing with staffing issues, dealing with patients coming in and out of the hospital, and who to call and who, and you don't know, and it's just not safe when you don't have anybody to call who you can talk to, about certain things. No one want to give you like their number. At this current hospital I'm at, you have to page everyone, and sometimes they might answer, sometimes they might not. And another thing is there's no support. Like I said, like for me personally, I don't have a lot of support. Only time somebody call me is when they need something from me, when it's come from family and friends. I don't have a lot of friends. I don't have a lot of family support. And like I said, sometimes you need someone to talk to, and you'll notice that as a nurse, you might get depressed and sad sometimes, and you're gonna realize, like I said, you're giving your all to everybody else, and nobody's there when you need them. And one of my goals for 2024 was to like I said, I'm giving people what they give me. If you haven't been supportive to me, I'm not gonna be supportive to you. I mean, why should I help you all the time when you're never helping me or never there for me? So you'll learn as a nurse, there's not a lot of support. You might not get a lot of support in your life from friends and family, especially if you have a family that lack a lot of like college educated and corporate world employees. They don't know what you might be dealing with, and they think you're just making money. Especially if you're a nurse, people assume that you're making so much money, and you're not. Like, you're making money, but like I said, for me as a travel nurse, I make money, but most of my money goes to bills, because I have to have 2 places of residency, and it's very expensive to have 2 places of residence while you're on your assignment. And like I said, and most of the time the hospital staff isn't supportive to you because they think you're making so much money, which you're really not. I don't know who got these people in their head that nurses are making tons of money, but we're not. Most nurses only make $20 to $30 an hour, which is not a lot of money in 2024 because of inflation. Yeah, like I said, and as a person with a bachelor's degree, that's not a lot of money, So, and you have to take that in consideration when you're working in this type of field.